How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is a map tour for a new mod map to Farming Simulator 22 called Great River Lands. And we're going to start with the description from the mod hub, and it reads, "Welcome to Great River Lands. This is a beautiful fictional river map where you can do many things like farming and forestry. The map features about 16 sell points, including production chains. All in-game products are sellable. Over 40 fields for any sort of farming, a couple of forest areas and forestry trees by Pixel Farm and Oscar 8599. A town where you can mow people's lawns, full car traffic with people walking in town. In winter you can plow snow in the roads, 100 collectibles and fairly easy to find. A simple farm with the base game placeables. So I hope you enjoy the map and good luck finding the collectibles." There are no mods required for this map, and the map was created by Carl TG and is 216.07 megabytes to download. If we take a look at the map, this is what it looks like. We start out here in the northwest portion of the map. We start out by owning Farmland's number 1, which contains our main starting farm and a wheat field that is ready to harvest. We are not able to purchase all areas of the map. As you can see, the shop area here, you cannot purchase that. There's a couple of other areas that you're not able to purchase, such as the biogas plant. Now, I presume that if you purchase the biogas plant, though, you will purchase the land with the biogas plant purchase. But there are several other areas like sell points around the area that you're not able to purchase as well. Field prices do vary and actually are incredibly cheap. Starting out here on 51, 13,300, 14,400. I mean, super cheap. All the way up to 20,000. The highest priced field I could find was up here, 136,000. I mean, that's a big chunk of land right there, and it's only 130 grand. That's nothing. So you are able to buy up lots of fields very cheaply. We keep looking around. We got 149,000. The biggest plot of land here on 10 is 224,000. Got some forestry up in the northeast here, 61,000, 19, 13, and so on and so forth. So gonna be very easy to expand and buy up land on this map. You do have animals to start out with. You have a chicken pasture. Contracts are available on this map. No production chains to start out with. And there are collectibles, 100 to be precise. If we take a look at mods specific to this map, starting out in the buy menu, there's nothing here on the buy menu, but under the build menu, we start out under our buildings and nothing under the entire tab of buildings. So nothing under sheds, silos, silo extensions, containers, tools, and farmhouses. But under productions, though, under factories, you scroll to the right, you'll see down at the very bottom there, it says Great River Lands mods. These mods are specific to this map. They have been basically base game mods that have been changed in some way. Most of them appear to be pricing, as best as I can tell. And we will show those later on. Under sell points, over here we have the junkyard. That is a mod specific to this map. Nothing under greenhouses, orchards, or generators. Under animals, there's nothing under here. No cows, horses, pigs, sheep, chickens, bees, or others. Under decorations, we have nothing under fences, lights, or others. And then lastly, under landscaping, we have a couple of additional painting swatches, more than base game, nothing under trees or plants. Now we do start out here at the grocery mart. Sell point is in the back, so let's go ahead and hop in our truck. This is right here. Oh, and I forgot to turn off. Let's turn these couple things off. So when I come in and out of the truck, it's not going to turn off my engines. So you start here at the grocery store, the grocery mart sell point, tucked around the backside over here, right there. We will leave here, make a right, head down the road just a little ways, To my right is the gas station. Oops, and I'm driving off the road. Continuing down the road. Right here, we have the animal dealer. Now, if you want to purchase animals for your map, if you have a pen or pasture already installed, in this case, we have a chicken barn or a chicken pasture. Unfortunately, we have it all full, so can't really show that. But if you have a empty or partially empty barn or pasture, you can come to this location, click on this icon like so, and you can purchase your animals directly. Now, if you purchase your animals directly from this icon or the same icon at your pen and pasture, you will be assessed an additional fee. That fee is associated to a delivery fee. Essentially, the animal dealer here is going to take the animals and deliver them on your behalf. Now, you can go ahead and bypass that delivery fee and save the money by bringing an animal trailer to this location, parking it on this checker box right here, and clicking on this particular icon, loading the animals into the trailer, and then taking them to your pen or pasture yourself. That will get you the animals and will save you the delivery fee. Now, it does get a little bit expensive, the delivery fee. It can be up to $100 per adult cow. So depending on how many animals you're wanting to buy, it does add up, and does add up pretty quickly. So that is a nice little savings. Over here, just in the distance there, that is the bales selling sell point. And now we will backtrack a ways. Coming up here to the right is our next point of interest. Right here we have the store trigger. Oh, well, that's something I didn't expect to happen. I'm kind of trapped in here. Well, we will just so just so you know, that is going to be a thing. If you click on the icon there, it'll take you right back out or into the sell point, or the shop trigger. Repair trigger is right here. And now continuing down the road. Coming up here is our first production. To my right, this is the bakery, and you can purchase this for $30,000. And this is what I was saying before, to where you can purchase your basic in-game items, your basic in-game productions, but looks like at a reduced rate. So $30,000 for this, and input and output right back here. Continuing down the road a little ways. Right here, we have the dairy. You can purchase the dairy for $55,000. And we have our output here and input just behind the building, right there. Continuing down the road. Right here, we have the carpentry to my left. This is $45,000. You have your input here with the wood cell trigger right there, and your output right there. And next door we have the spinnery. Spinnery can be purchased for $50,000. Input here and output right there. Heading behind these production points and down this little back road here, to here, we have the cereal factory. right here in front of me. This is $85,000. Output here, input here. Behind that is the oil mill. You can purchase this for $65,000. Input here, output there. So now heading to the main road and across the street. Back here is our main starting farm. So now that we're here at the starting farm, let's take a look at our starting equipment, which most of it is right here. We start out by having, under small tractors, the Zador Forterra HSX 140. Under medium tractors, we have the John Deere 6250R and the 7810. Large tractors, we have the John Deere 8RT 410. Harvesters, the John Deere T560. Cars, the Lizard Pickup 1986. Trailers, a Rudolph TDK 301RA. Headers for the John Deere, the 625X. Cultivators, we got the Lemken Carrot 12500 KUA. Seeders, the Pottinger Terrasim C6F. Mowers, the Sepp Nussel F240. And under forage wagons, we have the Pottinger Boss Alpine 251. Header trailer, the Nardi N40BX. And that is everything. Now, starting over here on the farm, we have our sleep trigger. Whoops, right there. Silo here. And tucked away way in the back, we have our chicken pasture. We have 30 chickens, but only room for 30 chickens. So that one is completely full. So now we need to backtrack. And here we'll make a right. Now we'll follow this road out and around. It will kind of double back for a little bit, but we will just continue to follow this out. Here we'll make a right, followed by another right, and come up to this main intersection just ahead of me here. We'll make a third right, and right there is where we started everything out at. So we just continue following this road straight south until we get to the next major intersection. Cross over the train tracks right here. Now up here is the intersection and where we're going to make a left. Make another left here. Followed by another left. And then tucked away all the way back here is the train silo. We have an output for the silo here, inputs here and here. Got a rent train trigger right there, and an input and output for the train right there. So before we go much further, let's go ahead and take a look at the map, show where we've been and what we've seen. So we started in the parking lot of the grocery mart right here, went to the sell point behind the grocery mart here, came back out to the road, passed by the gas station, came down and around to the animal dealer and saw the bale selling sell point, back up and around to the shop trigger and repair trigger and got stuck inside the building, came out to here where we saw the bakery, down the road to the dairy, up and saw the spinnery as well as the carpentry, over to the cereal factory and oil mill, then came down to the starting farm, saw the sleep trigger, silo, and chicken pasture, came up and around back to the main road, intersection down here, all the way down to this point here, went up this side road, up and around to the train station or the train silo. Now at this point, we need to backtrack just a little ways. Now going across the street, tucked away in here is the biogas plant. We come right over to here. We can purchase the biogas plant for $1.5 million. You have your inputs, solid input there. On the back side here, you have your liquid output, aka your digestate right there. You have a biomethane station directly to my right, and an electrical charging station also to my right. Here is the liquid input right there. And that is everything here at the biogas plant. Let's continue to backtrack to the main-esque road. And here we'll make a left. And then we'll follow this out to the next point of interest. Here we'll make a left, take the left of the fork, and then in here, directly in front of me, is the junkyard sell point, aka the debris crusher. Coming back out here to the fork, we'll make another left. In here, we have the power plant sell point with a wood cell trigger right here. Heading back out and then going across the street to our next point of interest, which is right there. This is the grain mill sell point. And now, take the back road over here. Following this around. Up here at this intersection, we're going to make a right. And now we're going to go to our last point of interest as we cross the railroad tracks here. Saw all sorts of goodies on the tracks. To my right is the last set of interest. Starting out with, to my right, a rent train trigger right there. And directly in front of me, that is the train storage bay sell point. And that is everything. That is all of it for Great River Lands. Now it is time to render my opinion and let you know what I think. 0 to 5 scale as per usual. And this one is kind of a somewhere in between kind of map for me. So color palette is good. it's good. It's got some toned down colors. There are flowers, there are things that kind of draw the eye and pop, but not enough to make it seem too cartoony or anything like that. So that's definitely in the plus column. The minus column for me is that the map is incredibly flat for me. It reminds me of a more built up style of Western Wilds, but there's I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, but it just feels like there's a charm lacking when I make that comparison. Western Wilds, yes, is flat and has very little undulations, but there's something about it that has that charm to it. This one just doesn't seem to have it. Oh, hey, there's a car there. There was something else I wanted to show. One of the sell points is the grocery marts, right where you first start. And I feel that this sign here is improperly placed. So you got the grocery mart sign way back here next to this field here. Maybe better suited for over here. Just kind of an aesthetic thing that just kind of stood out to me. Seemed off. I mean, this seems a little bit more appropriate. That signage there seems a bit more appropriate for its location, but the other one just seemed way off. Outside of that, I mean, there's just really not much going for this map, unfortunately. It's going to make a very excellent beginner's map. Something for somebody who's not really, deep into playing, doesn't really know the concepts of the game, or the mechanics, I should say, not the concepts, the mechanics of the game, and is really just trying to cut their teeth and try and get involved with the game itself. Now, the one thing I will say is it looks like the forestry areas are definitely a bit more, have a bit more terrain to them, rather than the rest of the map being extremely flat. Like you can see here, there's some kind of hidden hills and rocks and stuff that are just kind of tucked away back here, which is nice. That is nice. It's going to make the expansion and building out, just a degree more difficult, rather than the kind of field work and stuff that we're going to have to go through. But it's one of those where it'd be nice if this kind of rolling undulation was a little bit more pronounced in other portions of the map. Now, the one thing that's going to be extremely bothersome to me as well is you look around, especially in the forest. I've noticed them throughout the map, but here in the forest, I'm really noticing a lot of them are these rocks. These rocks, unfortunately, you can't do anything with them. They are forever here, so even if you take out all these trees and do all the forestry work to be able to utilize this land, you're going to have rocks in the way to be able to, prevent you from being able to do anything. So it's one of those kind of, again, kind of in the negative column. You want to be able to buy the forestries. I see there's some more right tucked away back there. You want to buy the forestries to be able to kind of build up and expand, but there's really not much expanding you can do when the rocks are in the way, and that you can't do anything to get rid of them, as far as I'm aware. You know what? Before I kind of run my mouth in that regard, let's do a test. Let's find a set of rocks. Maybe, just maybe, if you buy the land, you can delete set of rocks. Here's one right here I'm on top of. So, okay, we just bought the land. Okay. Doesn't look like I can click on it, and doesn't look like it can be demolished. So yeah, that's going to be one of those things where even if you level out the land and make it to where you can build something here, you're not going to be able to build on top of this rock. I mean, with few exceptions, like if you press the Y button to be able to kind of enter into that whole free roam or free placement screen with specific models and stuff like this here, you can press the toggle free mode. And you can potentially place these on top of it, so where if you're building a production point on top of the rock, it might not matter that much, to where you can hide it. But to make the land flat, you're not going to be able to pre-make the land flat, because you can see how it's just kind of interfering with the placement there. So yeah, it's going to be one of those where it's because of the trees are just kind of bouncing my camera around. So yeah, that's going to be one of those where it's going to be very difficult to place down new items here in the forestry areas. So all that kind of said, I am not a huge fan of this map, for the reasons I stated. Now, what would I give this map? 0 to 5 rating as per usual. I would probably give this somewhere in the ballpark of probably a 2.5. It just seems very rough. There's a lot of areas where the grass is growing through the road here, the road textures. You have a lot of areas where the bushes encroach onto the roads and on the paths and networks that are here. The starting farm is extremely simple. No real personality to it. It just seems like it's kind of plunked. And anybody who's followed my channel for a long time knows how, I kind of feel about those. Color is one thing. When it comes to like the color palette that's being used, that's kind of a big thing for me, and the kind of aesthetics of plunkness. Now this area here where it's kind of built in the town, this is actually really nice. You got the nice little driveways with the white picket fences around the houses. You got all these different models for the houses themselves. You can actually utilize the grass here in the town in order to do stuff with it. So if we go to the map again real quick, you can purchase Farmland number 4 here for $144,000, and you can utilize all the grass and area that's in the homes and whatnot. So that's really nice. But it doesn't take away from the fact of there's a lot of things that nice fact is kind of working against as well. So it's one of those kind of 6 of one, half dozen the others. Again, I was saying the farm, there's some grass right there that's encroaching into like a whole load of it, just encroaching onto the road there. That's, again, just another kind of personal pet peeve of mine. Whenever I see, again, bushes encroaching into the road, whenever I see that kind of encroachment, it's bothersome. Now, the bushes are less bothersome to me, personally. But again, we're back here at the main starting farm. You get, 3 kind of covered awnings. You get your chicken pasture and your trailer for your sleep trigger and a silo. That's it. That is it. You got a little bit of picket fencing there in the background. Now, yeah, it's one of those where you're going to be able to expand and make this into something. But this is a very kind of basic starting farm for me, a little too basic for me. And again, these are all my personal opinions, and I do not say any of these negative things to be mean or anything along those lines in regards to the map maker themselves. I'm not the arbiter of all things that are true in maps or anything like that. I have a great respect for every map maker, regardless of my personal feelings about the map itself, because again, I'm not the arbiter of all that is true when it comes to these maps. There's going to be people who are going to vehemently disagree with me, and that's fine. That is 100% fine. If you're one of those people who likes this map, then congratulations. I'm happy that you like it. It's just not one for me. So again, I would give this a 2.5 because of all of the things that I've listed before. Now, I think there's some things that could be done to kind of bump that number up, maybe get it up to as high as a 3. Fixing the roads would be one of them to make it look a little bit cleaner. Fixing the bushes around these kind of road networks, that would help out as well. But yeah, other than that, it just, you get that kind of sense of, plunking, that the whole putting down something just to put it down. I feel that with a lot with the production points, a lot with the kind of like the one area that had what I feel is the kind of most love and attention paid to it is the grocery area here. This large parking lot is actually very nice, and it's very inviting. This parking lot, this whole kind of built up area here. This is very inviting. Like, yes, come and shop here. This is nice to me, and I think this is a good example of, you know, what could have been done here. Now, again, the signage is kind of funky to me. Again, that signage there, that makes sense. That totally works out for me. But the other one that's like really far and out of the way, way down over there, is kind of off to me and should be maybe about here-ish. So, yeah, all that being said, like I said, I don't mean to come off mean or harsh. This is just my personal opinions, and again, this is in an effort to kind of, if this were to get back to the map maker, is just a means of constructive criticism. That is all. So yeah, it's one of those, that's how I feel about it. But I hope you enjoyed this map tour. If you did, please show them by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things. The algorithm enjoy what you're doing, shows you're engaged with this channel, enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. As I run into the pole, take care.